the first conversation you should have with everyone are, what are your boundaries? We want to encourage you to go up to people and ask them their boundaries. People come up to you and ask you your boundaries without even asking your name. Just start there.
I'm Amy.
I'm April.
Certified sex educators, sexperts of the year, and best-selling authors.
And we're on a mission to help you have more spicy, connected, and amazing shameless sex.
Welcome to the Shameless Sex Revolution.
We're so close, it's like we have our own language. We're making sex and relationships shameless.
To learn more, go to shamelesssex.com.
And for 15% off some of our favorite sex toys, use code SHAMELESSSEX at purepleasureshop.com.
You are listening to a pleasure podcast. For more from our sex podcast collective, visit pleasurepodcasts.com.
Well, hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Shameless Sex Podcast.
Hi, everybody. I missed you so much.
I like so much. So we are not recording together, right? Just because we're super busy.
Yeah, because we're not raw dogging though.
Yeah,
Amy.
I know.
We were just talking
what
about
raw dog means.
So my interpretation or definition of raw dog has been brought to the current space and time of 2024 because I just hung out with my stepdaughter, who's almost 20, her boyfriend, who's just turned 21. And we went on a trip with them to Colorado to see our friend's band, who I love, Soundtribe Sector 9, love them. And anyway, they were talking about raw dog. And I looked back, I was like, what are you guys talking about?
Because you thought this is sex without a condom.
Yes,
right?
that's why I was like, why is
he
he talking about raw dogging right now? I'm like interested. So I was asking questions. He's like, no, April. Raw dogging is when like we're on an airplane or we're on a car ride and you don't look at your phone, you don't talk to anyone, you don't text, you don't look at a magazine, you don't do anything. You're raw dogging.
Not even like
flight.
the Southwest brochure.
No, you don't look at anything. And I'm like, so do you close your eyes?
It's like when you go to Vipassana, like the meditation retreats where they search your bags to make sure you have no distractions.
I guess so. I didn't know. So I was like, so are we raw dogging right now? If we walk and we don't talk and we don't look at anything, we only look straight ahead. He's like, yeah, we're totally raw dogging this situation. So I was just brought to some new realities. And now I'm like, Amy, let's raw dog this podcast. And you were like, what do you mean?
Yeah, I was like, what do so many questions.
Like, I mean, I feel like it's keeping me current, which I am happy about. So anybody listening that's like, what are they talking about? You know what? You can keep whatever interpretation of raw dog that you want to.
It will change in like 10 years too, but thank goodness to the youth, meaning people that are like almost 20 years younger than us, for teaching us about new terminology. Because we thought it just meant fucking someone without a condom.
Did you ever see My Cousin Vinny when he's like, the youth?
Yeah.
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 That's why I love the youth. They keep me young, the youth.
That's adorable. Well, this episode is with Michael Hollice.
It's not about the youth.
Yeah. Who actually, on the note of, actually, this is perfect for this one, on raw dogging, with the, not the version April's talking about where you're on an airplane, not like paying.
Or a car. That could be a car. You could raw dog college.
Yeah. But also the raw dog term that we're talking about where you don't use a condom, the play where Michael Hollice is one of the people. Sorry, can't just think about like the Ute.
He's one of the founders. He's one of the founders. Yes.
And so it's not that they require you to always use condoms. Like you can't raw dog, coming to the old terminology of raw dogging. They're the only sex party that we know of thus far that requires STI, also known as STIDs in April's world, which is just funny. Not that she has STIDs.
Also COVID checking too.
So COVID checking, but more so the STI screening. So you have to go and get STI tests before you come, and he'll talk about more about what that is. There's a lot more to it. Remember, April was talking about like the artistry behind it. Like it's almost, my thought was like it's almost like Burning Man. A lot of people won't relate to. And it's not they can't make all of your fantasies come true, but they curate it. They ask you, right?
Like, they curate each individual play party with intention. You're going to hear about it. He's fascinating.
But intention towards like listening to what you might want, not that they can make all of them things happen.
Curating it towards. So when there's a party, they have all of these folks that want to come to the party. So they have all of the people that have their interests, and I think they enter into their application process.
I applied. I actually did it. I did the application process.
Good job.
You fill out.
Wait, let me finish this sentence there, squirrel. You're my little squirrel right now. I love you. So that was the thing. So he was talking about how the art is everything, performance. So people bring their own skill set, because if they want to sing or they want to play, there's someone that's a violinist, or there's some sort of the acro yoga people he was talking about. He'll do a better job of describing it. It sounded to me, I haven't been to Burning Man since 2012, Miss Amy, who goes every year, but it did sound to me like all these creative people that are also sexy and want to explore their sexuality more in these open play environments are involved. Hence why Michael and the other board members founded The Play, which is in LA. Did they do parties in other places? I can't remember.
I don't know. I don't think so.
Remember,
I think that they're mostly just in LA. We met him when he came to Santa Cruz, but I don't know if they're doing it outside of LA.
I don't remember. I thought he said maybe in the future. Well, everyone listen to the episode, because I'm going to listen to it after we record this and it's released on this date. So I will remember after I am told by either myself, by you, Amy, or by him. Then we're going to find out, right?
Yes. Yeah. Yes.
Wait, so how long is the process? Do you know how long the process is?
So yes, I applied. It's not that hard to do. You just fill out a document online. Then there's like an approval process. And then, so all I got back was not all I got, like it wasn't, it was not enough, but response, because they interview, he'll say this in the interview of that we are going to release right now, that you will be listening to, everyone. The next step is an interview with them. Remember he says in the episode, so the response was, even though we met him and it's not like, oh, all of a sudden Amy Baldwin, your grandfather, and it's okay, thank you for this. Next step is interview with, I don't even know if it's with 1 to 3 people. I haven't done that part yet. So it doesn't mean you're instantly in. Yeah.
I love that you're doing the interview process. I was thinking that we were just in a shoot.
No, it does. So that's one of the beauties is I
actually
it's not just
really appreciate
that. You're super cool, so you're fine, with the STI testing or your status of how hip you are or whatever. There's so much more to it. And so we'll get, I just find it really, and I haven't been yet. I really want to go. I wanted to go on August 10th, which is a week after this episode releases. I don't think I'll be able to,
I'm not going to be able to either, because I think we both have the same sort of
baby
situation
shower
event. Yeah.
Yeah. Baby shower.
Okay. So
we're both making a smile yay.
moving on
to the next. Okay. So we'll get to the sex question.
I send nice gifts though. Okay. And if I can't attend, I'll send a nice gift.
I mean, I send a nice gift. So I am going.
You're going to go and send a nice gift. Well, that's it. That's all we have to say about that.
Don't even get me started on the baby shower. Okay. It's not even this person. It's just how April and I feel about baby showers. Or lastly, I feel the same. It's not just baby showers. I feel the same way about Christmas or Hanukkah or whatever your holiday, your birthday.
What's wrong with Christmas?
Now, sitting and watching someone open presents for 3 hours.
What about if I give you some presents and want to watch you open them?
For you, so if you want to watch, you will have to pay me. If you want me to open presents for 3 hours and you want to watch me, that's like you're paying.
No, I don't want to watch.
Model thing.
What about everybody opening one present time after time?
Like a ceremony? Okay, anyways, let's move on.
No, that's the Christmas that we have, Amy, over here.
That's white elephant.
See, and that's not fun to you?
That's fun. It's a game. I'm not into sitting and watching one person open things for 3 hours.
This is why you do Secret Santa at your fucking families. Then everybody gets one shot.
Yes.
Just like Eminem says, you just get one shot.
or you have a baby shower and then you open all the things privately and you send thank you cards. How about that? Okay. Anyways,
or you have all of your friends open one of your baby shower gifts while you're there.
Yeah.
For you. And
all
then
at
it's
the
fun
same
for
time.
everyone.
Yeah.
Changing the face of baby shower since 2024. Shameless textile.
Okay. Let's move on. Anyways, so not about us, but always. So everyone, we have a Discord. If you don't know what Discord is, an online, I don't even know how to describe it, a chat community that all these other podcasters or just hosts of various things have. And so we have a Shameless Sex Discord. And all I will say about it is you can always go and sign up or apply. There's not like a huge application process. Anyone can be a part of it. It's just there's sometimes there's a couple steps. So go look for the link in the episode's description. When this comes out a couple of days later on August 6th, I at least will be there. April usually shows up, and then when she's there, she loves it because it's games.
I'm pretty sure I can be there because I have a huge shift right in my current status of my career, which everyone can find out about later because it's not about me, but I will have more time or maybe less. You never know because things always happen. And Discord is always
It's
fun.
been-
I like
it's been
even when
super
I'm
fun.
like, I only have 5 minutes,
Yeah.
Amy. I get
When
on
you're
and
there,
then
you're
I'm
like, I don't want to stop. I don't want to stop. We do like
I
Wheel of
don't.
Fortune, Jeopardy.
and there's so many fun humans there. It's just like a small group, but everybody's really invested in the time. And it's not necessary. I think there's an app, but I don't even have the app. I usually just
It's
log
an app.
in.
It's your phone and your computer. And this
okay.
this
so you
one,
can,
so we're just advertising. We don't make money off this, by the way. It's just a
No,
community.
this is a way to hang out with people.
Yeah, and so this August 6th thing, you can just be a part of Discord and not go to August 6th. But this one's Cards Against Humanity. We're playing that online live.
Does that mean that? Well, I'll find out because I'll probably be there, and then you and I are doing you're taking me on a post birthday,
the next day,
spa trip next day, which I don't even know what's going to happen.
We're in San Francisco
so
for Chip and Dip to San Francisco.
Oh yeah, so we're doing that at 5 p.m. Pacific time, right?
Yep,
so 5 p.m.
Pacific.
Pacific time.
Yep.
Discord game night. So do you think that they pull because we have the Bryans, right, that lead the Discord?
The Bryans, but now we also have more than the Bryans. We have people. So people have, their online names. So I mean, I know I can say the online names. Remember Wolf? Yeah. We have Corpse.
Yeah.
People are like, who the fuck
Corpse.
are?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. If I'm not saying your other names, because there's usually at least like 5 to 8 of the usual suspects that we absolutely love. So. Yeah, just go to the link in the show notes. And if you can't make that event, come to other ones. It's free. Go sign up. We'll see you there.
I feel like that's going to get juicier and juicier as it goes on. It's just building. And it's been out for a long time, but I feel like it's going to continue getting more fun because it is really interesting. And sometimes I feel like a total dum-dum because the questions that they ask are really fucking hard.
You're actually really good at it. You're like really good at the
Do you remember when
Wheel
we were
Fortune.
a team though? No, we were a team and we were doing Wheel of Fortune and we were like,
the dipshit show. We're like, I don't know. And it was they gear it towards shameless sex questions. We're like, we don't even know the answers.
We could not be. So there's a certain type of brain. It's like when you're playing Scrabble, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes my Scrabble brain and my Scrabble hat is not on.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's on and I'm on fire. It's like a top hat Scrabble hat. It's the same with Wheel of Fortune. Sometimes my Wheel of Fortune brain, I can't make out the letters or am like, how many vowels do I have left? Can I just E-I-E-I-O-U? Because I have no fucking idea.
Well,
all right. So
we haven't done Cards Against Humanity there yet. And that's about like knowing someone personally based on their sense of humor or their sick, twisted sense of humor. So we'll see how that goes online.
Let's just see. I think you and I will probably get that.
That'll be
right
fun.
On each other. Yeah. All right.
All right.
This is fun. This is fun. This is fun.
We're having fun. I'm having fun being topless, sweating fucking balls. Okay.
I know. I forgot that you're topless because I can't tell.
We're not filming, but like,
well, now, do you have underwear on right now? What's going on?
Yep.
Oh yeah, you do. Oh, nice work.
Look at this though.
Oh, they're okay. That's nice. I wish we did have this one on film, but
I have a temporary tattoo of my partner. When I pull my underwear down right above,
it was
my
his birthday, and she sent me pictures of this too. They're
and his
really
face is
cool.
right there, looking at April right now on Zoom.
She sent me 2 pictures of other people's ass from the birthday party, and I was like, with his face, on the asses, and she's like, we need to do this for all of our events. I was like,
yeah, we probably should actually.
So because you shower more than I do, how long is that fucker gonna last?
I have not been scrubbing it. I try to preserve it as long as possible. I'm dead serious. I'll scrub all around it, below, above. Although,
if we had our faces on these things, and I don't shower as often
you don't really
as I do, it's gonna be like 2 months old. I'm gonna have like a real tattoo.
Yeah. Anyways, oh my God, that could be our next offer. Okay. Anyways, let's go to the sex question, but we need shameless sex temporary tattoos.
I think we do better staying on task when we're together, but I'm having so much fun. I hope everyone out there is having fun because this is fun.
This is great. All right, ready for the sex question?
Yeah.
Okay. It starts with threesomes. All the rage, or are they really as great as everyone says? I'm a straight man in a 3-year relationship with a straight woman, and we are open to having new experiences and want to know if that's a good next step. Yeah, I feel like it's so that kind of like how people are like, oh, if we're even though they're both super straight, they've been here for not super, but straight 3 years. And then you think that I'm not insulting them, but like the next step for being open has to be threesomes.
Well, here's the thing. Riddle me this, Miss Amy.
Riddle you
because this. So they both say they're straight, right? Straight. Yeah. I'm a straight man with a straight woman. Threesome, you're going to have a human that is probably a penis owner or a vulva owner. So what do you do if you are the straight woman and you have another vulva owner.
You can
there.
have straight threesomes, not straight threesomes, but you can hook up. So say it is two pussies, one cock, and say everyone's straight, right? So like two pussies, one cock. So let's say like there's the cock laying down. Then you could have one pussy person riding their face and the other pussy person riding the cock, or getting the cock in their mouth, or they don't necessarily have to engage, and that can be.
This is why I was setting you up. This was a setup. This was a total setup.
It's a trick.
Because this is the question that I've received from people out there when they want to have a threesome, but they're like, but I'd only want it with another chick.
Oh, that's so common. Dudes,
and like, why would you? I'm like, well, would you DP? Would you get your dick sucked while another dude fucked?
Yeah,
the chick, and absolutely is usually the answer.
Yeah.
So there you go. You just riddled me this, and I love that. It's like Scrabble, but better.
I think it's super like Scrabble, but better. Hard Cards Against Humanity. And I think it's also so common for not insulting dudes, but like it to be a lot safer for, well, no, we want a threesome. So naturally it's going to be with two chicks. But like, even if I had a threesome and there was, me, my pussy owning partner, and then another dude, that's not cool. Even if the pussy, like, you didn't have to touch that other dick. Now it's confronting, but it's safer to have two pussies than two dicks.
Okay. Remember at our show, when we did our show in Portland, and we had shameless shares. And so we had confusion because this is the thing. We asked for a shameless share, which people obviously consent to, and we all did our own shameless shares. And then we asked for volunteers, and this very brave human came up and on the mic talked about his first threesome experience, and that there was double penetration,
but like wasn't
was super straight
before though, like they didn't talk about boundaries. Yeah,
right. So he didn't realize how close his cock would be while one was in the butt and one was in the vag.
But we were also
to another dude.
We had this disagreement.
Yes, we had a disagreement.
Stage.
Yeah, we did.
Not
on stage. Not on stage.
Later.
Afterward.
Yeah. After it took us, so we had like 4 sex educators later, all discussing like, okay, so what are we talking about? We're talking about like sword fighting, or that he ended up getting fucked
he
in
got
the ass,
penetrated, right, without his consent, right?
Or it's like, one hole and another hole, but then like you can still feel through the orifices.
And that ended up being the case, right? But I had misinterpreted it. Yeah. And the whole reason for bringing this up is because he was saying that was he had wanted a threesome experience, definitely identified as a straight man, and felt like he didn't realize that in this experience,
you might encounter another dick.
Well, and that close to him, another dick and another body.
The other dick might actually touch, or like almost kind of feel like it's touching you.
There's only a tiny membrane separating you and this,
but it's still another dick. Oh no! Or like
dick.
I felt the balls. They hit my kneecap.
Well, I just wanted to bring this up because I know that we have actually like something to offer. Like there's actual really
episodes.
Episodes, and I just wanted to bring this up because of my experience and talking to and the curiosity involved talking to folks about threesomes, and a lot, especially people in long-term heterosexual relationships, which are the majority of our listeners, long-term like hetero couples that want to explore their sexuality, and threesomes come up. And how many times do people listen to our threesome episodes? Like millions of times.
But it doesn't mean that it has to be the next step as a sexually involved person, right? Like it doesn't. So there's like these who ask, like, we want to know, since we're so open, that this is, so I think when a lot of people hear us, they're like, you always talk about non-monogamy and threesomes, like as if everyone should do it. Like, no, not at all.
Do you have to be considered non-monogamous if you partake in threesomes with your partner?
You just find your own definition of whatever that is. And you can also still be very open and evolved and not have threesomes and not engage with other people. You can maybe flirt with them. Maybe you don't do that. Maybe you just get sex toys.
Online threesome? You and your partner. Online threesome.
Or Or
like
maybe
right now, you and I could have a threesome. We have some.
We actually
other
are right now.
Camera.
Because look, there's my partner's face right
there. We
there.
go. This is a fucking threesome.
We're having a threesome because my partner's face is looking at her over Zoom, and she can see my nipples at the same time.
Well, just because it's plastered on her well-shaved pussy, which is usually not that. I just realized.
And it's trimmed, lightly trimmed, I'd say. Lightly trimmed.
I can't. Well, this is.
You should see the side angles.
We're getting totally off track. We're like, this intro is going to be really fast, and we're
hey, we're almost done.
We're fun. No, we're funny about it.
So we have some references. The other thing I want to say is just, I just this last weekend, I did have some threesome, foursome experiences. And one of the people, and I'm mostly straight, one of the people there, though, one of the penis owners is super fucking straight. Like he is just down for all the things, but he's not, like, doesn't want to make out with other dudes. No sword crossing, swallowing, like, and it's navigatable. And it's total. And if someone gets a little too close, to be like, oh, no, little too close for my boundaries. It's like
So
totally
that's
doable.
boundaries.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
cool. And
Yeah.
that's kind of what, so in our book, we talk about, because actually one of the people that we're going to mention in the next little bit of information on how you can navigate threesomes, but Reed Mihalko is amazing
He's so
with
good.
navigating these types of situations and navigating them in a way that speaks to each person so they can advocate for themselves and they can also have their own agency. And
Yeah.
in our book, we talk a lot about navigating through threesomes, especially in the chapters about spicing up your sex life. So if you don't have our book, go fuck yourself. I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
I love just throwing that in there.
with our book.
No. Yeah. Go fuck yourself with our book. Our book is available anywhere books are sold.
Yeah.
Just look up Shameless Sex. You'll find it. It's only in hardcover now. You can also get it in Audible. And I know, Amy, you have something to add, but I do want to say our book is a genuine good piece of merchandise to have on your body at all times. No, it's
Coffee
a good
table?
piece of,
Yeah.
good piece of merchandise to have at your house.
If you want, I don't want to
just
say
access
actually,
to.
don't literally go fuck yourself with a book. That might hurt, but
Well, you know what? If you do, let us know how it goes.
Yeah,
Maybe you could
yeah.
try the binding. The binding might be nice. Take off the book jacket.
anything's
And then-
possible.
And then you could actually fuck our heads because they're
it's
on
a
the book
paddle.
jacket.
Ooh, okay.
Oh,
now
there you
just-
go. All right.
All right. You just went to a whole nother level. I like this. Okay. So some references, and we're going to give you an actual reference or referral, of something that's actually happening in person that isn't exactly threesomes. But like April said, Reed Mihalko, amazing person who's been in our book, dear friend, sex educators. So Reed, our first guest we've ever had on Shameless Sex ever, episode number 5.
Did I say don't judge the
audio quality? Yeah.
the audio quality
We're
back
in the
then.
Caribbean. Yeah.
This was one of our first episodes, everyone. We were in a giant house, but it's still a fucking
so
badass
great.
episode.
Yeah, we locked all of our friends out of the room that had all the alcohol and air conditioning. Actually, no, we didn't have air conditioning. We were sweating balls. So episode 5 on casual sex.
And we
also-
couldn't run the fans.
Yeah, we couldn't because
were
we did
recording.
bad audio. And then episode 105, also on threesomes with Reed Mihalko. And then 326, it's on orgies and all kinds of other group play stuff. And then, but then what's coming up soon, and then when this comes out, I think 4 to 5 days later, is something called Oral Sex Grad School. And this is in person, everyone. This is in Oakland, California.
Wait, what do you mean 4 to 5 days later from this episode?
When this
So it's-
episode comes out.
So August 4th, 2024.
August 4th,
That's
yes.
what date you're talking about? Okay, got
Yep,
it.
yep.
I'm just making sure I'm following along.
Yes, yeah, it'll all be in the show notes. So Oral Sex Grad School, and I know this isn't about threesomes, but Reed Mihalko will be teaching it alongside Dr. Allison Ash, who's fucking amazing and has been on our show many times and is still to this day is our number one.
It kind of is owning.
Owning. Yeah,
It's
number
kind
one
of owning
downloaded
that number one
episode.
spot. Yeah,
Yeah.
the number how to eat pussy like a champ.
Yeah, it's 107. She's also been on episode number 198, 256, 311. If you just go to our website and you look up threesomes, we have so many other educators. There's
I
so
have
much
an
information
idea.
out there.
I think y'all should play the lottery and use these numbers 107, 198, 256, 311, 105, 326. I'm actually going to go play it right now. I
See
think
what happens.
I might win. I might win something. If it's
Yeah.
not an orgy or a threesome, it might be the lottery, Amy.
Yeah.
And then I'll see you in Shameless Sex Gold. Wrapped in
Ooh.
it. Wrapped in it.
And then last we said it's in the links in the show notes. But if you want to learn more, not just about this event that's coming up with Dr. Allison Ash and Reed Mihalko, but future events, because Reed Mihalko is constantly doing things, whether it's about oral sex or threesomes or non-monogamy or not. So go to Reed, and that's REID, not READ, readaboutsex.com. Go learn more. And the end. Just kidding. It's not the end.
He's really, no, it's not.
Yeah.
I have to read the bio because Michael,
Well,
you
then we
want to
have a
hear
whole
about Michael.
episode.
And we have a whole episode, and it was in person, which are so much fun to do. And having people in our tiny studio is not only intimate, but Michael played with our chicken cluck in front of us where we almost lost our shit while we were recording, because we recorded. Him and Allie drove up separately, but they're both from LA. And Allie Eisman, who was on we launched her episode, I think a week or two ago. Also a great episode. But while we were recording with Allie in our beautiful little studio, Michael was hanging out with Cluck, and it was he had this gorgeous Parisian sweater on, knit sweater.
Well, people
and he's
aren't used
playing
to like
with
just a chicken walking.
No.
freely.
And she like comes into our studio and pecks at the fucking ground and I'm just like, cluck. And then she just, And then never mind. My dog eats her shit, which is not good for the pancreas. So I don't condone that. I don't condone it. I get mad. And then I'm like, I don't know what to do. The animals
That's
are not
not what this
in
episode
harmony.
is about, by the way.
No, this is why we're going to move on to the bio. But Michael Hollice is he's so incredible. Meeting him in person was awesome. Michael, if you're listening, we love you so much. And thank you for doing what you're doing. So here's his bio. As the founder and creative director of The Play, Michael Hollice has led the Play Party community for over 6 years, offering a wealth of firsthand experience and knowledge. Guided by the principles of health, consent, intimacy, and artistry, Michael creates safe and inclusive spaces, fostering genuine connections and cultural evolution. To learn more, go to theplay.la.
All right, everyone, it is interview time. And this is another in-person interview. Woo! We're so excited about that because it's a very rare thing. Living in Santa
When we
Cruz.
ended the last interview with Allie Eisman, we were watching Michael, our guest that's going to be on, Michael Hollice, dance outside of our studio. He was dancing, and then the chicken came, and he picked up the chicken and was dancing. It was really cool.
He was chicken hunting.
We were all dying laughing. I was like, hold it together because we're almost out. And it was really good. I wish we would have gotten
So
that
everyone
on video.
who's new to the podcast, we have a chicken that lives on this land that we are in, where our studio is. And so this is a free range chicken who loves people. And
She old as fuck. She's like 7 years old or something for a chicken. That's old. Maybe 6.
She's still clucking.
She's still laying eggs
She's
too.
still clucking. Oh, she's laying eggs.
She likes Michael. She like gets down and like,
From a little
pick
club.
me up.
Yeah,
we
she's
had
a-
a-
yeah.
we had a moment.
He had a whole consent
beautiful.
conversation too. He was like,
Is it
so
okay
Cluck.
if I touch your breast?
Yeah.
Cluck?
Cluck was like, cluck, cluck. Yes.
Like, oh yeah.
Yeah. So anyways, you heard a little bit about Michael in the intro and just now. Michael, welcome to Shameless Sex. And we always start with the same prompt for all of our guests. Can you please tell us and our listeners a little more about how you got to where you are today in the field of sexuality?
Well, thank you for having me on. Super excited to be here today. So my wife and I became ethically non-monogamous about 8 years ago. And that first year, we went discovering, like we heard about sex parties and I was like, oh my God, vampires are living amongst us.
No way.
What the fuck is going on? So we went to like as many sex parties as possible. I was just obsessed with the space. And after a year, I realized the vibe was just off. It felt like, what's the difference between a sex party and like just a college party? Or just a regular party. It felt like, they're adding alcohol, they're adding lights, music. Maybe there's a consent talk. And I'm like, all right, get after it. And
Like awkward middle school parties where you're like, everybody's in the back waiting for someone to ask them to dance.
exactly.
Kind of thing?
I mean, how many times you go to a sex party and it's like, okay, well, like I'm here. What do I talk about? And how do I approach someone? If I'm like, oh my God, I like your hair. It's like, are you trying to fuck me? So we created The Play, and we wanted The Play to revolve around art and the self-expression of our guest. So that's kind of one of the unique things about The Play. It's not so much us hiring performers, it's you letting us know what your fantasy is. Ooh. And we have a team of producers that will help it come true. So our team has a past in television and film. I used to work in that as well. So you'll let us know like what lighting you want, what sound. Is there a favorite song, some staging, maybe a little atmosphere? And
thank God for you right now, because that's my dream. Lighting. It's like mortifying.
Speaking April's language right now.
Yes, I just think about different lighting. Sometimes even when you're at home by yourself, I was like, wait, whoa, this lighting is not overhead lighting. When people, I'm like, what am I in prison right now? Get rid of this overhead fluorescent lighting.
Exactly.
No,
you can do so many little things to create like an awesome, sensually engaging play space that attacks all the senses, and that's really what we try to do. I'm sorry, let me go back to the question, how I got started. So once we started creating The Play, it was a small group of, friends, and each person that attended would, kind of have their 5 minutes in the spotlight, whether that's, dipping each tassel of a flog in a different color and then, flogging someone. So you're creating this art piece while that person's being flogged. So there's these multiple sensations, but also for the crowd, it's super engaging because we're watching this piece being created. We've had couples do nude acro yoga, to their favorite song. And what I tell people, yes, it is really cool to have a performance, but that's not the focus. The performance really just adds the nuance to flirting. Right. So now we have something to talk about other than ourselves, and there's no wrong perspective on art. And the goal of this whole play party, it's about connection. So we have to give people these tools to be able to connect authentically versus just talking about their sex lives or
or like that shirt that you're wearing.
Exactly. Hey, you look good. Like, wow, that's a really thoughtful compliment. You got that. Yeah.
Nice shoes. You want to fuck? I don't know how else to get straight to it. Right.
Yep. So once we created the play, or when I wanted to create the play, it started off with the art, and then we were like, okay, we need to have some like pillars here. Mm-hmm. What are we going to build this experience around? So our 4 pillars are health, consent, intimacy, and artistry. Health being number 1. Mm-hmm. This was a big determiner if we were going to be able to do this play party or not. That's where my wife drew the line. She's like, if we're going to do this, everyone has to be tested. Mm-hmm. Wow. And at first I was like, baby, like nobody does that. Why do we have to be the first? So
at least not enough.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. So, but thinking about it more, I was like, you know what? Yeah, let's be the trailblazers of requiring STI testing. Like, oh my God, we're going to make you get STI tested before you come to our sex party? Like,
that's wild.
Yeah, exactly.
So do you make people wear condoms? Like, to practice safer
people
sex?
Still have to wear condoms.
I love that.
So
okay.
It's just more of, you have to get tested within 3 months of the party that you want to attend. And yes, that is a lot of time between, getting tested and playing. But that's not what we're asking. We're asking you to join a culture. Right? If you are going to be sexually active in this non-monogamous space, getting tested once per quarter, we feel is the standard.
Oh, yeah.
So that's how we want to welcome you into this culture. And that's one of the big things that we're trying to do at the play is just shift the play party culture to where when people come in, they're having these super positive experiences because we're giving them the language to use at a play party. We are giving them the information, how to prepare for the play party. And so, health was our number 1 pillar. And then consent, some parties do it, some parties don't, but we stop everything once everybody gets inside and talk about consent, what it looks like, sounds like, and feels like at the play. Our saying is, if it's not a fuck yes, it's a no, or an enthusiastic full body yes, it's a no. But if it's a no, part of the culture is celebrating no's, right? How do you receive a no? Our saying is, thank you for taking care of yourself.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
By saying that out loud, it really takes the onus off of you. This is not about, they're not saying no to me. They're saying yes to themselves. And so that is our saying. We also talk about voyeurism. I'm not an exhibitionist. I don't like when people are super close as I'm, being intimate. So we created the COVID rule. If you're within 6 feet, you need to ask, can I watch?
Mm-hmm. Love that.
And there's a difference between glancing and like, oh, that's people having sex.
Yeah,
versus like
getting up deep to see what.
Get in there a little closer.
Yeah, or just awkward. Like what people say, like you're kind of a part of the scene now. If you're really there watching, you're hanging out. Even if it's like 5 feet away, but you're just like staring.
That can be uncomfortable.
Because some people get a little uncomfortable with the glance. Like, can I look? Can I look? Like, there's people fucking in front of you. I'm pretty sure you can like glance. It's
fine.
But not getting in there to like inspect like you're a doctor at an appointment. Like, no,
like this is for me.
We had a question about which I love, and I don't want to interrupt you, but I just was so curious. Do you curate these parties? Because I'm thinking about so many different people's fantasies and people's skill set and what they want to, because you're talking about performative art involved, which I love that. I was like, what are my skills? I was just thinking about what I would bring. So do you, because I'm obviously, I know you said there's like 2,500 folks in the community. I was going to call it like the network, but it's a community, both. So as of now, so do you sort of take their profiles and match up what they want?
Yes, this is the real work that we do in the background. We don't give out links to the tickets. We say, hey, here's the party. If you're interested, let us know if you'd like to attend. And then we'll read your profile and decide like, okay, yeah, this would be a great fit. Like, oh, we have 5 people that love shibari that want to come to this party. Let's get all 5 of them there and then have like a little shibari expo, So how we bring people into our space is, they hear about it word of mouth or via podcast.
It's called The Play, everyone. The Play.
The Play.
THE. No, I'm saying. So they'll submit their application, and on their application, we'll have all of these different, questions that we ask, some that are asking like, hey, what are your kinks? Do you have a performance in mind? Describe how you express consent, and so when we see that, that's our first line of defense. Some of those things will have a red flag, like, oh, I'm going to put 1-word answers for everything. Like, oh, well, we're not going to take the time.
Yeah.
Wait, do you get couples? Do they have to apply individually?
You can apply as a couple or as an individual.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I was going to say, that would be so dramatic if you got in, but your
And your
partner
partner
didn't.
didn't.
Like,
Yeah.
oh, God.
I'm in, you're not.
So once that application happens, we're like, okay, let's now set up a face-to-face interview. So we'll interview everybody via, Zoom, or sometimes it's face-to-face, in person. And what I love about that is that we offer a very human experience. So we want to inject humanity into that onboarding. It's not so much an interview, more so a conversation. And it allows us to ask you certain questions to see how you respond. And, like I was saying earlier, 10% of what people say are the actual words. The other 90% is like their facial expressions, their body language, their tone. So that's what we're looking for. It was like, oh, how do you express consent? Well, like, if they type it out, I was like, oh, I asked for verbal consent and I get, sign offs. And then, you see them in person, I was like, well, sometimes I ask verbal consent and, if they sign off, it's like, whoa, that was totally different than what I read. So seeing not only that, how couples interact with each other in the interview. Did she drag you here? Did he drag you here?
Oh.
Who really wants to be here? And are both of you, a fuck yes to being in this space? Because when we see that one person clearly doesn't, you're going to bring that same energy into the space. And as you guys know, all it takes is one person to fuck up the vibe.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Especially if it's your partner
It's
and
the
you're
party
like,
pooper.
What are they
Like,
thinking? What are
Yeah.
You're
Oh,
like,
God.
yeah, then all of a sudden you disappear, but then other people feel it because they're caretaking you and
Or
your
if
whole
there's
relationship.
drama, like the couples
Yeah.
that you invite to like a party, like a regular party that sex was, and they're like having drama and they bring it to the party. And
We
you're
call
like,
it
okay.
we call it the wild card.
The wild
There's
card.
there's almost always a wild card in larger groups, and
Like, it's not therapy. Yeah.
But I have been in larger groups where and so have you, right? Where we're like, there was no wild card this time.
Yeah.
And so anyway, is that who you're talking about? The wild card?
Yes, there's always going to be a wild card. But sometimes it's a good thing.
Yeah.
I think the biggest part of this conversation that we're having with them is that it's not this one-sided conversation. Now it's your turn to ask us questions. And I think a lot of people find comfort in that, to say, okay, like I did have all these questions. Maybe I didn't want to type them out. It's super
I don't want to seem
nerve-wracking.
like I'm too much.
Yeah,
Or they
exactly.
use AI,
and they're like, AI was not giving me the right answers that I wanted.
Right. So we can just answer those directly. And then one thing that we do during the interview is we're going to walk you through the night hour by hour. And this is an 8-hour experience.
Whoa.
And you have to be there for the full 8 hours?
No,
or?
you can leave when you want.
Okay.
You have to, we have a 2-hour arrival time. So you have to arrive between 8 and 10.
Yeah.
And at 10 p.m., we close the doors.
Yeah.
We don't play the LA game of like, oh, just get there when it's hot.
Yeah.
If you're not, we're creating this closed container.
Yeah.
And it's a delicate container. And, we are trying to, I don't want to say like revolutionize, but evolve how people execute play parties, because a lot of parties, it's 4 hours, right? It's usually from 10 to 2. And then you get there, and especially if you're new, you're trying to feel this thing out. Maybe you're coming into a community and you don't know anybody. So it's taking you like the first 2 hours just to like feel comfortable and have conversation. Now you got 2 hours left to kind of figure it out.
I got to go bang it out real quick. Like, just
Exactly.
only 2 hours
and,
left.
and like maybe you have kids, maybe the curfew was 1,
Yeah.
So there's a lot that goes into it. So, walking you guys through the night at the play, that you'll arrive and we'll have you all checked in. You signed our NDA. That's a big one as well.
I love that
we
you have an
make sure that
NDA.
we have an NDA.
That's amazing.
You already have your STI results. We've done the interview, the application, and you've purchased your ticket, because we have 3 rules for when you enter the space. No phones, no money, no hierarchy.
Yeah.
I love no phones. This is like Burning Man.
I like all 3 of those.
Except you can have phones at Burning Man, but this reminds me of some
I
Burning
like
Man
the no
stuff.
money part.
I
Yeah,
like the no money because it's like, where do you stick
Burning
money?
Man, you
Like,
can buy ice and that's it.
I know. I remember that. But
Yeah.
and the phones didn't work, so I never brought mine. But I love that
What's
no
the
money.
hierarchy part though?
Yeah.
Yeah. So no hierarchy there is no VIP.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've been to a sex party with VIP, but it's not usually the sex in that you want to be in.
Yeah.
It's interesting power dynamics there. But we just want everyone to feel as if they're on the same level. And that's why we do the no money as well. Imagine it as an all-inclusive resort, right? We want to come in. We have an open bar for like the first 4 hours. We have free pre-rolls because Los Angeles, baby.
Love that.
Oh, the weeds and the sex, though. Come on.
So, we don't want you touching money than touching someone's genitals. Just plain and simple.
Ooh, yeah.
Word.
I wasn't thinking that part. I was thinking more just like the energy of money.
COVID
but yeah,
changed
it's
my
dirty.
whole
We
opinion
learned
about
things
money.
from COVID.
Yeah.
So much.
Ooh, wow.
So, and then no phones. It's a given, and obviously we want to be more present, but with no phones there, because a lot of play parties are, hey, just put it away. I trust you to put away your phone. I don't trust me to put away my phone.
Yeah.
If my phone goes off in my pocket 4 times back to back, I'm like, okay, something is fucking happening.
Right.
I got to check it. And the worst thing you want to do is like kind of side eye the phone out of your pocket. And then someone sees you doing that. It's like, did they get a picture? And then the whole night you're wondering like,
I'm in trouble.
did they get a picture of me naked?
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
or a
I
video.
don't know.
That's true.
So the goal of taking away the phones is to decrease the amount of anxiety that's in the room. And by decreasing the anxiety, we're increasing people's willingness to be vulnerable. And by increasing the vulnerability, we increase the chances for authentic connections. And that's what this is about. I've been doing this for about 6 years now, and people don't come to a play party for sex. What I've found is that they come for the pillow talk. They really want that 1 or 2 conversations where they drop in so deeply. And if sex happens, great. But like, I really got to be truly vulnerable with this person. And I'm in a space where I can talk about my sex life openly, and everybody's not just like encouraging it, they're celebrating it. So you have so many deep connections that happen at these parties. That's so beautiful. Okay, so first 2 hours when you arrive, we have all these attractions. We call them like activation stations. So we've got like a fire spanking station over there, an electro play station, a body buff station.
What's a body buff station?
Oh, you get like a car buff?
Oh, I did that one at their show. Oh my God.
It's wild.
And then you put it on your body. Someone does it for you.
Yes,
clearly.
yes. And
not on the genitals though, because that feels like it might hurt.
oh man, it is. We have to put down squirt blankets.
Okay.
Every time. It is fucking wild. I've seen it, and it's just like,
Good thing you have squirt blankets.
yeah, it is.
It's the double handheld thing, right?
Yeah, exactly,
Holy
exactly.
shit.
And it is just
Actual buffer.
it is an actual car buffer.
Yeah.
$150 on Amazon.
Yeah.
There we go. So we'll have all these cool activations that you can drop into. So when you're, experimenting with fire play and electro play, these are places where you'll get to know somebody potentially. Like, oh my God, I met Susan at the electro play station. It was super, super cool. Or like, I met Jenny at butt plug ring toss. Like, she is awesome.
Looking for new sex podcasts to listen to? Then you have to check out my latest fave, the limited series Making Magic.
Is it produced by the company that makes my all-time favorite vibrator?
Yes, yes, yes. Making Magic is an entertaining yet informative storytelling series that examines the legacy of the iconic magic wand and its impact on society's acceptance of pleasure. Who knew April's favorite vibrator significantly changed the world?
Well, I'm not surprised. It's been my favorite vibrator forever. Okay, let's play a little clip so we can give everyone a taste of that magic.
But that giant thing was also making them come.
This tension between using a vibrator that feels great and getting a shot that looks great for the viewer also came up in my interview with Zoe Ligon, who founded the sex shop Spectrum Boutique, wrote the book Carnal Knowledge, and makes porn on OnlyFans.
I think it's such a common thing where people are like, I hate vibrators. And it's like, no, you just haven't found the right vibrator yet. That definitely happened to me. And the magic wand is the one that changed my opinion. And I was just like, oh, yeah, this is what I've been looking for my entire life.
Oh my God. I 100% relate to Zoe. I love her. I just want more.
Right? Okay, so this clip is from episode 5 of the Making Magic series, all about magic wand's influence on porn and why so many performers and filmmakers turn to magic wand to shoot authentic orgasmic scenes.
To listen to the full episode, as well as the other 9 from this fantastic but limited series, I think the next one is all about kink. Go to makingmagicseries.com.
What's up, shameless sex fam? Is your sex life important to you? What about your relationships? And also, let me ask you this. Who can relate to this story? Things were once so good in the bedroom with my partner, and now it's a mess, and I don't know what to do.
Where's my happily ever after, Amy?
Yeah, what about me? Or how about so many aspects of my life are fantastic, but when it comes to sex and relationships, I feel so lost. Yep, been there.
Me too. And this is why you all need Shameless Sex,
the book.
We give you simple solutions and a framework that you can use. You can customize it to you. Yes, you. It gives you the tools, the right tools for your sex and relationship. So you get what you desire, and it's fun, it's playful, right, Amy? We're always playful.
It's kind of sexy.
And did I mention how easy we make it for you? You have to check out Shameless Sex. Plus, the testimonials, they're coming in from everywhere. And this book has helped people just like you recreate and create the sex life of their dreams. So you can do it too. Go to, where are they going, Amy?
Shamelesssex.com.
Oh, how easy is that? Just go to shamelesssex.com and click on the book, okay? And you can get it however you choose. If
you want it hardcover, audio.
Hardcover?
We got you hardly covered.
You said some folks will sign up to do like the naked acro yoga. So there's probably like a playbill almost that goes into the night where people know where to be to expect if they want to see the naked acro yoga. Or
let's say prior to the party, they'll let us know what they want to do.
Okay.
So we'll just be like, hey, here's the spots. Like you wanted to do the butt plug ring toss, right? Okay. So
You're running that.
Yeah. What we found out is you shouldn't have a butt plug in you for more than 2 hours.
Because, things happen all up in the bits.
We'll do 30-minute windows.
Yeah. We'll leave that up to y'all to figure out what he's talking about.
So that's our first kind of connection exercise. The other thing is we give you the tools to have your first conversation when you enter the space. So we tell everyone during the interview process, the first conversation you should have with everyone are, what are your boundaries? We want to encourage you to go up to people and ask them their boundaries. People come up to you and ask you your boundaries without even asking your name. Just start there, because nobody comes to a play party to cross someone's lines. But a lot of times in these spaces, people aren't vocalizing their boundaries, and so it creates these opportunities. So let's just start off like, hey, I'm here with my husband tonight and we are just playing with each other, or we are open to kissing, so it's like, oh, cool. So I'm, as the single person or the other couple, I know like, okay, they're super cool. I'm down for conversation, but when it comes time to play, we should probably focus on someone else. Yeah. And we're all strategizing here, right? So like, let's help each other figure this out. 10 p.m., we close the doors, gather everybody around, have that consent conversation. After the consent conversation, we go into an intimacy exercise. And I learned this we have so many tantrikas in the space. And so our intimacy exercise usually, and sometimes it switches up, but usually it's eye gazing with 3 or 4 strangers. We do this in silence. We do this without having to smile or without having to touch someone or wink. Just go up to somebody, find somebody to drop in with, and it's a 30-second eye gaze. We're not doing like the 2 minutes bawling, crying, I see a reflection of myself.
Then I was like, okay, I gotta go.
Yeah, exactly. So 30 seconds. And the reason we're doing this is because we have to create opportunity for verbal and nonverbal connection. Not everybody is a type A. Not everybody's the extrovert, and it creates this opportunity for those introverts to drop in deeply without having to potentially fumble over their words. So 4 different people. On the last person, you'll exchange your dibs, your desires, intentions, and boundaries.
I thought you'd be like, dibs, I get that one.
That's what I thought too. I was like, okay, that's a spin.
No one else gets to touch him. They're mine.
I'm looking at you like just looking dead at somebody like dibs.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was thinking.
Like they say 2 words, you're like dibs. Yeah. Gotta call early.
Desire, intention, boundaries, and
just desires, intentions, and boundaries.
Oh, okay, so dib, but like we just say dibs because you just do
exactly. I just had a conversation with William Winters last night, and he actually gave me a good S. I think it was like sexual. I gotta look at my notes.
Yeah. William Winters, everyone was on one of our episodes and
with Bonobo Network.
The Bonobo Network, exactly.
I am a huge fan of Mr. William Winters.
Yes.
just talking to this man, it is just mind blowing.
I'm not surprised he came up with the yes for you.
Yeah, it's just like, oh man, that could definitely work.
Yeah.
So desires, saying it. Look, we may be eye gazing, but you don't desire me. That's totally fine. But we're just speaking into existence what we want to experience here at the play. So the desires are something sexual or sensual that you want to experience. So we're eye gazing, like, oh, I want to be tied up. Like, okay, cool. I'm not the shibari guy, but I know the shibari guy,
Yeah.
But it's really for you the exercise of speaking things into existence of like, okay, I want this to happen to me, because you go to so many play parties, you do have something in mind that you want to experience, but you never really said it to anyone. So you're just hoping that maybe this thing happens. I gave them a look. I gave them a touch. Like I tried to point them in the right direction, but
it's psychic.
And
this applies to all sex outside of sex parties, though. Like you're dating and you're having casual sex, or even a partner that you know for 10 years.
Right.
Like no, unless some people might be psychic, most people are not. And
even being psychic in that environment would be a bit hard unless you're like channeling that person for a while.
I feel like they were like trying to manipulate and brainwash me.
Oh
like,
yeah,
I know what you're thinking right now.
I know what
It's
you mean
like,
too.
Nope, you don't.
So you express that desire. Intention. Why are you here tonight? My wife and I are trying to spice things up. We just want to do something new in the nightlife. We heard about this. We want to check out the art, whatever it is. Cool. And then last but not least, boundaries. Let's say you got to the party at 9:30 and didn't have the chance to have that boundaries conversation like everyone else did. No matter what in our space, you're going to say your boundary out loud to one other person.
Okay.
And to me, especially we're newer couples and they're coming to the play, attending the play is like getting a day pass to a sex positive festival. There is so many things happening at once to where you can just be overwhelmed. And then it's like, oh my God, I want to do all these things. Say that boundary one more time.
Yeah. Practice.
Come on, back on up.
Girl thinks my boundary is no electrostim, but it looks so fun over there.
Right. And so it really just grounds you back in, to your reason for being here. And also like, here are the lines I'm not going to cross, or here's the conversation I probably need to have with my partner because the electro PlayStation does look amazing.
Is sexual orientation considered, or is it just like, because I'm assuming if you get a bunch of folks that identify as like bisexual or heterosexual, but no, not people that are completely like, they're like, I only like to hook up with dudes.
I love this question.
Yes.
So yes, sexual orientation is, and I think that was the S that William was putting out there.
William.
I solved the mystery, Scooby-Doo. Good job, Scooby-Doo.
God. Okay. So yes, this is the cool part about the play. This isn't like the gay party, the straight party, all of these different labels. We're the party for artists. If you appreciate art, you want to experience art, like we want you. So come on by. So we've had all colors of the rainbow at the play. And diversity is big for us. As one of the few African-American play party owners, diversity is huge. It was one of the reasons I created the play. I kept going to parties. I was like, wow, these are like super fun, but this is like super white. I mean, I feel like there's more
white swingers
diversity in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
And the other thing we have to point out, it's not just diversity in race and sexual orientation. It's diversity in shapes and sizes. I go to other high-end parties. I was like, man, everybody is on Ozempic.
Yeah. They're like all
look like models.
Instagram models. Yeah.
Exactly. So we do the intimacy exercise. And it's a great way that we're creating these connections. And then after that, we go into the performances. And like I said, the performances are from our guest. Sometimes we'll elevate the performance. Perfect example. Allie wanted to do shibari for the first time. So we had this gentleman do the shibari on her, like she was suspended. It was awesome. We added some fucking bubbles coming from the ceiling.
Yes. I love you can't, bubbles are a great thing.
You can never lose with bubbles.
I love bubbles.
Reminds me of Ibiza.
Oh, yeah.
And then I love that you know how to say Ibiza. So we added the bubbles. And then also we had like the top violinist in Los Angeles playing while she was being suspended. So it's just this magic.
I love a violin. I can't.
So there's so many cool ways to be artistic in this space. And I think was a big inspiration of mine, because I'd go to these spaces and it's like, okay, well, there's the flogging thing. Okay, there's the shibari thing. Like, can we spice this up a little bit? Can we just add a twist here? I can keep giving examples of performances, but the point is that this performance happens. And we tell people like 7 minutes tops. please make it 5.
Yeah.
We are in the TikTok era, guys.
Yes. Short attention spans.
The goal is for your fantasy to come true, right? But your 30-minute monologue on, your dramas.
Yeah.
It's not
a poetry slam session, okay? We are going
There's a time and place for that.
Right? So the performance happens and then the intermission happens. And what I love about this is the intermission. The point of the performances is the intermission. I'm giving you something of substance to talk about. And this adds the nuance to flirting, right? Where it's like, oh my God, like that nude yoga. I love yoga. What flow was that? Or wow, I've always wanted to try Shibari as well. Like who taught you? You just have these authentic conversations that are happening that aren't focused on us having sex, right? And so, or maybe everybody's painting this woman's body. So like, oh my God, I love that veiny penis you drew on her.
Or I would imagine it also be some of the hard things, right? Like that was really hard to watch Allie tied up, suspended from the ceiling because I have, there's something about it that like freaked me out, made me really uncomfortable. And then you can, have that conversation with people too. It's not just all like sunshine and rainbows, probably.
Exactly. It again, just a conversation piece. I like to say it's like the ammo to shoot your shot, right? Like you got a little something there.
Yeah.
So that's the first 4 hours. There was no sex. So some people just come for that first 4 hours. Like, I just want to experience.
Do some people have sex in that first 4 hours? Or no?
Some do.
Okay.
Some do. We just ask them like, keep it down.
Okay.
We're trying to cut it out.
I was just wondering because I'm like, wait a second. What if you're all horned up? You're like, I saw that acro yoga. And now I'm like, hey, honey, let's go bang it out in the corner.
Everything is consensual here.
Yes.
If this is a sex party, if you want to go and have sex, we ask that you just like do it to where it's not like
disruptive
next to the performance.
Yeah.
We're having the intimacy exercise and you are railing her.
You don't become the performance, basically. Okay.
We have spaces.
Do you have anyone that goes there over there and like, hey, can you keep it down?
We've had to do that a few times.
Okay.
But we want people to have, this is a space of freedom, truly freedom of expression, sexuality, and creativity. So that's our goal, is to provide this canvas. And the cool part about the play is, although there were 3 main performances planned from our guests, 10 happened throughout the night, right? People feel inspired. And it was like, okay, the violinist is going to play again just because he feels like it. I was like, well, do you mind? I used to do ballet. Is it cool if I dance naked in front of you? And I was like, okay, well, like, we can actually turn this light this way and, hit you with some cool lighting if you like. And we can fire that bubble machine back up.
Do you have like production like team on site that aren't participating in the play?
Absolutely.
Or so that are identified like in a certain gear, or they're actually clothed, or I don't like that.
Yeah, we have a production team, and people will come up to us and come up to them and ask like, hey, is it cool if I do this, that? We kind of station things to where like we know a performance is going to happen there. It's like, oh, like why don't we have a poll in one of our spaces. So we'll just already have lighting hitting the pole at a right spot. So if somebody does want to perform, like we don't have to fix too much. Maybe they're like, hey, can you play this song? Like, all right, yeah, DJ can play that. Sure.
I'd be flipping on that pole. I love a good pole.
Yeah, you do. You used to actually poll humans.
Oh, yeah.
She would go up to humans downtown, like, can I poll you? And she'd try to
I did ask them first.
Perpendicular.
I'd say the wind's blowing in from the west and I'd jump on them, and I have a very strong core.
She asked for permission first.
I would, definitely. I wouldn't just run up to random people and pull them. That would be weird. And then they'd be like,
side note about a
I'm
poll.
like, I'm gonna just like hop on you and go horizontal.
You asked them the question, can I pull you?
Yeah.
Well, I said like it's called.
Please don't peg me, man.
It would be clothed. It's usually late at night.
The good thing is that they understood pole, but they probably would not have understood the word peg. So
this is true.
Yeah, they'd be like, what's pegging?
I forgot about that, Amy. Thank you for bringing that up.
Yes. I want to ask, so I mean, we're going kind of all over the place, but so people need STI testing 3 months before, and they show their results to you all. Does the whole sex party get to see it?
No, we have an RN on staff. They submit it to the play.
Okay.
We test we want results for 4 different things: chlamydia, gonorrhea, syphilis, and HIV. That's it.
Yeah. We're not looking for the herpes.
No.
Most
or
people
the
have
HPV.
it anyways.
We are in Los Angeles.
And most people,
don't have herpes.
Yeah. They're like, I don't
and
have
HPV,
herpes.
everybody, like a lot of penis owners are just carriers. You can't even test for it anyway. So it's pointless.
Yeah, totally.
And again, it's more for a culture welcoming people into the culture versus are we keeping this space extremely safe? Because everybody has those wild nights where it's like, oh man, I just hooked up with 4 people the weekend before the play. Like, you can't stop that.
And there's still condoms. So, but if someone says their results, only your board gets to see it or your RN, and they have syphilis, right? Yeah. It's like, okay, well, you need to go take care of this, and then you can. This is great. Resubmit your application.
We talk about this all the time. How we receive that information is how we are going to help shift the culture. We need to celebrate them and having the courage to let us know, protect the community. Thank you so much. Here are some resources. And if you get this knocked out prior to the party, come on by.
So send us your new test results.
Don't get all Al Capone and go crazy. You got to get that syphilis taken care of.
Thank you so much for not just taking care of yourself, but taking care of our community. We love that. We celebrate that. Thank you for being, an integral part of our community. This is what it's about.
Totally.
And not shaming people for having an STI because you're a sexual person and STIs can happen.
And you're making a normal part of the conversation. Just like the one getting tested, 2 talking about it, because a lot of people are like, oh no, I can't go talk about this thing.
And that's the whole part of, that's the whole culture shift when it comes to the testing is like everyone in our community is getting tested once per quarter. So like all of us, this is just the norm now.
Yeah.
And, we've had happy hours. We're like, hey, we're all going to go get tested. Then we're going to go get some drinks.
That sounds awesome.
Cool.
I love that.
But you got to get the throat swab. I've had recent experiences with the doctor sending me.
You don't get the blood drawn?
So no, well, so the throat swab's different though, because the blood isn't going to test what's happening in your throat, like HPV, gonorrhea. I think you chlamydia in there too. Yeah. And so my doctor sent me to Quest or LabCorp or something. Yeah. And she put in the order for the throat swab too, because I was like, I want all the things. I'm a non-monogamous person and want to be safe, and or just not safe, but like on it. And I went into Quest and they're like, oh, we don't do this throat thing. And I was like, wait, what? You don't do this?
Really?
And so I have to go into my actual doctor. And there's other places that do all the things, everyone. It's just that this is the place where they do blood and urine. But I was like, that's so important. And a lot of doctors aren't even talking about that. So that would be my other question.
And rectal.
Are you requiring all these as well?
We send people in the right direction.
Okay, good.
So
where to go?
Ours is, I wouldn't say at this point in time, we're requiring rectal and throat. We do send people to AHF. And if you get their standard test, it is free. It is walk-ins only, and it's anonymous. And their just standard STI test is throat swab, rectal swab, and then they're taking blood, and then they let you know HIV on the spot.
Yeah,
that's good.
Time for a quick break to talk about one of our sponsors who just so happens to be our absolute favorite lube, Uberlube. Uberlube is a luxurious silicone lubricant, and it enhances intimacy. It's there when you want it, and it blends in when you're done with it, so you have control over that lube. It's long lasting and leaves the skin extra velvety, and honestly, y'all, I want it all over my body. Thousands of doctors in the U.S. are recommending Uberlube to their patients. It's body-friendly, less likely to change the pH, and it has vitamin E, so it feels extra moisturizing.
There's a reason why we've been a fan of Uberlube for years. There's no flavor or scent. It's even great for oral sex, everyone. But it's not just great for sex. You can use it for massage, your hair. You can prevent chafing. It even brings out the colors of your beautiful tattoos. And the bottle is absolutely gorgeous. It looks more like a cosmetic, so you can leave it anywhere shamelessly for easy access. Just go to uberlube.com and use the discount code shameless10 to get 10% off and free shipping. Again, that's uberlube.com right now with code shameless10 for 10% off and free shipping. This podcast is also brought to you by OMGS.com. Join over 1 million people who are experiencing more pleasure with OMGS. They take scientific research of thousands of vulva owners, showing techniques to pleasure that pussy. They turn this research into tasteful, educational short videos, animated modules, and infographics. OMGS is for anyone who wants to learn about vulva pleasure or take it to the next level. Want to take your orgasms from good to out of this world? Then check out OMGS. Or if you're a vulva lover and want to up your pussy pleasuring skills, then you need to check out OMGS.
I've personally been recommending OMGS to my clients for years, and it's completely changed their lives. They have 3 seasons, external pleasure, internal pleasure, and sex toys. It's not a subscription service, and you don't need to download a thing. OMGS also makes a fabulous gift, and your purchase supports more pleasure research. So just go to omgs.com/shameless to get 10% off right now. Again, that's omgs.com/shameless to receive 10% off unlimited access towards enhancing your pleasure power. The link is in the episode's description.
I always just rely on the people that are doing the testing to know what I should be tested for, and I've never been throat swabbed. Ever. I've always just been blood, and then they're like, no, that's clear for everything. I was like, or and vaginal swab when I'm getting tested for like cervical cancer, but then they can test for HPV.
It's not offered very often.
I didn't even know, so I'm learning something.
Unless it's a clinic that is geared towards like sexual health, right? And so I'm gonna throw my mom out there, but she listens to every podcast and I can. My mom, 72, single, dating, is going to her, well, I don't think she's done this yet, but she's going to her own doctor. Maybe she already did.
Oh, I thought you were like, she's going to a sex party. I was like, come on.
Yeah, maybe.
She probably would. She's amazing.
But she was talking about how she's going to the doctor and she wants to do an STI screening, not because there's anything wrong, just to be safe and smart, on top of the game. And she's like, what are they going to think about a 72-year-old woman asking for a throat swab? And I was like, I don't know, but fuck them. If they have judgment,
most
she's
STDs
awesome.
are like swapped in, nursing homes and stuff.
Yeah.
It's
the village in Florida,
Yeah.
the village of 20,000 people that are like 55 and up, and they're
Probably
all
65.
I think you actually can go under 65
Really?
there.
You don't even need an AARP card?
There's a whole you should watch the documentary. But I don't think the documentary is about how they're getting all kinds of stids all over.
Oh, it is wild over there.
There's all kinds of stids running around that way.
Your mom was like, I'm going to go visit a friend.
Yes. Like, Mom, don't go to the village. Do not go to the village.
Or maybe Mom, go to the village.
Yeah. Could be
just get a deep throat swab afterward.
Or have everyone do STI testing before.
Yeah. Interesting. I never even know about the throat swab, but I do appreciate that knowledge. I have an actual dear friend who does have HPV in his esophagus.
Oh yeah.
And it has affected his speech. Well, it just makes his voice is very like this now.
Yeah.
And he's in his 60s and he's had it for quite a long time.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that, and I was like, oh my god, I had no idea that could happen until I met him.
Sex and so many aspects of being alive are risky. Right. Like I could drive in a car is risky, right? I could die driving a car.
But I'm wondering if he got swabbed, if he could have done some preventative stuff for it, right?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Possibly. There really isn't much. HPV, unless you have like cancerous cells, but at this point, but just knowing we're not trying to scare everyone out of the play or of having casual sex or just sex in general. But so many aspects. Your chance. I don't know the statistics. Your chances of like getting in a car crash are probably at this point, and I could be wrong. Actually, no, this is not going to make sense. But I was going to say, depending on the communities that you're having sex with, in 2024, your chances of having unprotected sex, if you're a heterosexual person with another heterosexual person and getting HIV, your chances are probably more likely to get in a car crash than driving a car.
Do they have HPV vaccinations now, though, that can help with the throat one? I don't know any of this. I'm just asking because you have a lot of knowledge.
Strains, but
I know because there's 82 different strains that they know of right now. I know I just got tested at my annual exam.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
But they didn't swab my fucking throat.
Well, because most people don't. So.
I think the other part of this is, they say the least risky individual to hook up with is a porn star.
I bet, because they're getting tested regularly.
All the time.
Yeah.
So with our community, it's like, hey, at least we are trying here to reduce the risk.
Yeah.
And that is what I'm trying to inspire other play parties to do, because that's how we can keep all of us safe, and it does create a lot more work. And there's other people that are saying, hey, this is their business and they don't need to share it. I just personally feel that if you want to be responsible in this community, and it's really like how we take care of each other is just by knowing our status.
Yeah,
it's your business. You don't need to share it. It's not just your business if you're hooking up with other people.
Exactly.
It's like that's a fuck all. That is
this
like
is my business, but do you want to fuck?
Yeah. So I'm like, no, that's my business.
I might be inside of you, but you don't get to know.
I'm like, that's a fucking load of bullshit. So sorry if someone says that or thought that, I'm just gonna call you out right now.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Unless you don't want to hook up with anyone, then it's your business.
So do you know if the play is? Have you heard of other sex party groups? Right, because you're LA based, right? So other sex party groups, or at least speak to the US, but maybe globally, that are learning from you, right? They're seeing what y'all are doing there, and they're like taking
all the time. The parties pop up in LA all the time, and it's interesting to see aspects of what we do being implemented in other parties. We have a lot of owners of other parties come to our space as well. And, you know, I think at first I was like, oh my God, I can't believe they're coming. Like, I don't want them there.
Competition.
You know, but it's an ego thing. And, you know, when I put my ego to the side, my goal is to shift this culture. And the only way to do that is to have other influential people and community leaders there and, you know, talking to them about, okay, hey, here's what we're doing. You guys should try it. Maybe it works for your community. I just had a gentleman who runs another play party in Los Angeles. And I was like, okay, you guys have been around for a year and a half. I know that you don't have NDAs, right? And you probably don't have a solid code of conduct, right? Let me send you ours.
Yeah.
You know, why not?
There's enough for everybody. This whole like scarcity mentality that goes on with businesses.
And these are really good things to share.
And your business will grow no matter what. And they're great things to share. And I think that it's a form of flattery when people are copying. I think that's how our podcast, we've always felt we help people reach out to us that they're like going to start a sex podcast. We're like, we'll give you all of the fucking playbook right here. Here you go. Like there's always room for more. And I love that. That's good karma.
One thing we didn't like was someone started.
Someone
took like one of our taglines like word for word. And we're like, okay, we don't like that.
Well, we couldn't because we also trademarked that, and they were Christian sex podcast.
We actually own the name Shame of Sex.
Yeah, so we can't really do that.
That's
one.
a little different, but yeah.
I mean, look, there's been times where it's like, you know, we just did this theme, and then another party's doing like that exact same theme, you know, and then maybe they're altering some things.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, we're in Los Angeles. There are so many people in Los Angeles. There's enough for everyone. We're at the point where we've sold out of every single party for the past 3 years.
And how many people, remind me, are at each party approximately?
Right now, we're averaging 100 this year.
Wow.
Oh, and you said this to me earlier off air that your requirements are it's 50% people, return people who have already been, and 50% newbies.
Oh,
you do that
really?
intentionally.
Yes, we do that intentionally.
That's crushed because it's not like everybody like knows, oh, I know you like it in the butt right now. I'm going to come after you tonight. Yeah.
Or the clicks. It's clicky.
Oh, a clicky. Oh, yes.
I hate play party clicks. It's the most annoying thing. We're here to connect. And like, I didn't go on the fucking Tahoe trip. Jesus Christ. You know, like that's all everybody's talking about. So I'm sure you guys have been there before where it's like, all right, like everybody knows each other. Yeah, exactly.
Like, stuff. You're like, you nail it. Like, I'm like, yeah, you're right. That's it. It's like, fuck, I didn't go on the Tahoe. Now everybody's talking about it.
I'm just silent in the corner.
Right, yeah. Exactly. And all these fucking inside jokes. Cool, guys. So we made it to where it's like 50-50. 50% are returning guests, 50% are new to the play. Maybe not their first play party, but new to the play. And what happens is like that 50% that is new, they'll probably find someone else that's new as well. So we're like, oh my God, I have a friend now, you know?
Yeah. And
so
they'll like latch on like to feel safe. Or
yes,
something.
we have to create these like unique and authentic ways for people to connect, even if it's just like, oh, this is both our first time. But then also the empathy from the 50% that are returning. To be like, I've been there before. I know how weird this can be, especially at my first party ever. Like, let me be your friend.
And is alcohol served?
Yes, we do. Well, it depends on the theme.
Okay.
You know, we've had parties where no alcohol was served. It was like the play's tantric temple. It's like tantra and alcohol? Absolutely not.
Really
Get some coconut water and some
elixirs.
Some like lukewarm tea, like tepid tea, so no one gets burned in case you want to take your cup around with you.
But what we'll usually... we actually did. We had at that party we had a non-alcoholic beverage sponsor, and we also were serving Demiana tea. Oh, and also
it's aphrodisiac.
For the first one that we did, my wife and I have a garden, and so the garden is centered around like tea and herbs that we can use in the kitchen. So we made all the tea for that party. It was like chamomile mint.
You said I made.
I know. Don't give me look. This is. I've been married for 7 years.
Yeah, you know.
Like, you saw how that happened right there. She really made the tea.
You better start speaking French now. Saying we.
Good correction.
Yeah. Yes, that was a good pivot. Good job. She's gonna be proud of you.
So you had a homemade tea that you served,
really
and our homemade homegrown weed.
Oh,
like we started growing weed on our balcony. And the best part about when you grow your own weed, like it's not going to be strong, guys.
Yeah.
You know, this is just
the Downtown Brown. I used to smoke that in high school.
Downtown Brown.
That's actually not good weed.
No, I know. But actually, I love smoking the swag weed because I get it way too high off the good shit.
Exactly.
And then I don't want to do anything.
It's dangerous in California to smoke somebody's weed.
I'll be in the corner. I'll be the worst person at these sex play parties. I'd be like in there like, I smoked the really good weed.
Yeah.
Damn it. That's happened to me before.
I'm
Not wanted a sex party.
I've been like thinking about, because I recently got into the weeds for both sex and sleep in the last like year. And I had a whole arrow, went back in my late teens with it, but I'm so curious to see what would happen. But I only have done this with my partner, like in a group, like at a sex. Would I be like
gummies?
Oh, well, yeah. But also, I've been actually kind of smoking the weeds. But like, would I shut down? I don't know. You don't need to have the answer to this. I'm just so curious.
We create things for like people who smoke. You know, at our next party is the play camp. It's like Wet Hot American Summer meets MTV Spring Break.
I just rewatched that movie, the Wet Hot American Summer. Oh my! Bradley Cooper was in it. Remember, he was like his first debut movie.
I was just thinking MTV
he was like
Spring
the gay
Break,
counselor.
though.
And then MTV Spring Break. I know. Sorry.
We're gonna have a wet T-shirt and a wet boxers contest.
That's awesome.
Wet boxers, they have to be white though. Like
the white T-shirt and white boxers.
Yeah, right. Thank you.
Oh my God.
We've been doing extensive research.
Everyone who has
managing already, like
everyone who has a wet look fetish is like, how do I get to the play for this?
For
right
real
now?
though, I know this is a party that I feel like I would be, because I am so invested in art as a human, and this is like the way you're describing it. I'm happy that I kind of went in sort of not knowing completely what, and I get to meet you in person, and you're just like a beautiful human. You have good energy, and I was like, so what are we talking about? He's like, oh, and then I was reading a little bit, and I was like, oh my God. And then the way you describe what's happening is a vibe that I could get down with, because I like the curation, and I like that it's not this separatist kind of elitist sort of bullshit that happens a lot in LA. Like, I'm at the House and I'm not gonna.
Oh yeah, I was raised in Los Angeles, and so that's what I'm trying to like get rid of. There's so many like famous, like we've turned away famous actors and directors. It's like, look, I have to get there at 11. Like, no, you don't.
That's not how it works.
You actually don't have to get there at 11. If you just came back from the Grammys, then wait for the next one.
Because we're gonna sell out anyway. So whether you're there as this famous director,
doesn't really
or
matter.
not.
How many times have you heard, do you know how ow?
It's like, no.
That's my favorite line.
I actually don't. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I have no idea. Or if I did, I was like, also, but I do, but I don't give a fuck. So.
But we've had like Lakers attend the party, you know, where it was like, oh my God, like the fact that they wanted to be there just to be in a crowd of non-VIP people. Yeah. And just
knowing that that's how it is.
Yeah. And it was like kind of blend, like you're 6'7".
Yeah.
That is hard to blend in. Yeah.
But like everywhere I go is a VIP area because I'm so tall. Oh, wow.
That's actually quite fun. I hooked up with a basketball player once back in the day, and he was 6. I think he was 6. I think he was 6'7" or 6'8".
Okay. So this is a tangent, but like I just always think of the height thing, because you are not a tall person, April.
No,
and
I am not.
I just think of standing and making I'm a little over 5'9". I made out with a guy that's
standing going on.
Yeah, that's how, right? Because I made out with someone who's 6'6", and I was like, this already hurts my neck for 2 minutes. Ow!
I can see you running out and being pull.
Yeah, yeah. There you go. Pull. That's It's like she's only polling or laying down side by side. We need to wrap this up soon. I have a couple other things here, because this is just This is going to be a dumb fucking question, but I have a guess. Because I've heard this question from a lot of people. And I'm not saying y'all are dumb, because I asked the same thing when I went to my first sex party, but you are all doing an interview with people before. How many people asked what they should wear?
We actually, in our invitation, we give you the prompt.
Oh, nice. I love that.
Okay,
so,
good.
Like, well, there's...
Is it like lingerie, like a gentle prompt, or like it's like you need to wear
like
blue?
Depends on the theme.
Okay.
We always say like, if you can't think of anything to go with a theme, then wear something black that makes you feel sexy.
Okay, so it's like a vaudeville theme, and you're like, I don't do vaudeville.
Exactly.
Then you're like, just wear black and something sexy like heels.
We try to do the themes that people are excited about. You know, one of our top party, or our like most hyped party, is the Matrix. We do it like every year. It's like obviously the Matrix could have been a sex party. I feel like there may have been one in Zion.
Probably.
But you know, our reasoning for creating the play is like, we wanted to create the play party that we wanted to attend. You know, and I think with a lot of parties, especially play parties, they think that we can just do what a normal party does, and to ask people, like tell people that they're going to have sex here, and then like the sex is just going to happen. When like you go to a bachelor party, like there's a whole, you know, sequence of events that are supposed to happen. You go to a birthday party, right? Like we're going to sing, we're going to give presents. So for a play party, I want to create an experience as well that's like step by step to get people to get to know each other, make sure these boundaries are communicated, what is consent, all of these things.
The intention is what really creates a space, that when there's a lot of intention that goes into anything, cooking, when I make food for people, when I have people over to my house for dinner, if there's an intention, I set a beautiful table and I pull a tarot card for each like seat. Like that's like what's
we have tarot card readers.
Oh God,
but you know, we're gonna provide the best condoms, lube, sanitation wipes, feminine products. If something happens at the party, don't worry, we got your back.
The cups.
Yep, the cups, tampons, you name it. Like,
do you have Plan B though? Do you have Plan B?
I've got Plan B and Viagra.
Yeah. I was gonna say Plan B was the next level. The condom broke. Oh, we have Plan B.
Everybody has a Plan B in their goodie bag. You guys have fun.
Yeah, everyone, you're good.
But we'll also have like disposable toothbrushes in our restrooms. Like just
that's
like
necessary.
the fucking little things. Like you want some chapstick? We got like 30 chapsticks. Around here.
I would need like a definite like comb for my bangs after I was like banging it because my bangs get too messy and then I get really out of my. This is just about me right now. I'm sorry. I couldn't. You can't tie bangs back. You don't have any. You don't have any bangs. You can't tie them back. Yeah. So what happens? They get all like flustered and then I'm like all peacocking around on accident.
It looks like you have like a ski jump.
Yeah,
from
and
your
it's
bangs.
not great. I'm like, do you have a brush?
It's like you have ski jump bangs. Were you just banging right now?
No one is allowed to come on my face for that reason. If they do, they can come only. These are my boundaries that I'm comfortable with saying.
Okay.
Like,
thank you for sharing.
Yeah, thank you. For sure. This is fine.
Yeah.
But no up here.
Yeah.
No eyes and no bangs, bro.
Okay.
Because
what about the rest of the hair?
Yeah, that's fine.
Target just went a little bigger.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I mean, okay. I thought this would be neck up, but okay, good.
Yeah, maybe
Thank you for sharing your
Ooh,
boundaries.
I will say this. So my wife is French. So the food at the play is where we really lean in. Like we've gone to all the best bakeries around LA. So we found the one.
Don't talk to me about French people. They're my favorite. I love French culture. I love French people. I love French everything.
So you bring baked goods from the best French
like croissant?
bakery?
Yeah, so we're getting the best baguettes in Los Angeles with the French butter, like the homemade hummus.
You can't get any good foie though unless you fucking smuggle it in. That's the only way.
Well, I just got back from Paris.
That's what I'm talking about. Don't tell. But they have the best foie with a little bit of sweet white wine with dessert on a little crostini baguette.
So this is like an all-inclusive experience?
Exactly. You're not paying for any. Once you get inside, like just enjoy. I grew up going to like all-inclusive, resorts and it just blew my mind because that's the real vacation. Like I don't have to participate in the monetary system. Like I swim up to the bar, I ask for burger, I ask for drink,
and they arrive.
They just say okay. And it's like, so I'll be gone now.
And people that are working can feel comfortable because they're like, I always feel guilty about not tipping because I was in the service industry. So I'm like, oh my God, I'll get you back. And like, I'm like, but I don't have any pockets. But like,
it's a swim up bar for a reason. And I love that feeling. So I want that same feeling at the play. And then the last little tidbit, if other play party hosts are listening, I'm going to give you a little tip. We put everybody's name on their cup.
Oh, I love that.
So the special, but also it helps with recycling and stuff so you don't waste cups, but it makes it feel special.
We are reducing our carbon footprint.
Love it.
What was happening, I'm interviewing so many people, like the names are everywhere. And I'm sure maybe you guys have been in the situation where it's like you hook up with someone and was like, oh my God, that was so fun,
Yes.
Yeah, what's Oh my God, what was their name? Yeah.
Wait, so what if there's like...
we had such a great time.
So it's better than name tags.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You have your cup
sexy.
and you'd be like, you forgot somebody's name or you're just meeting them for the first time. And like, when I meet people, I'll hear like, oh, hi, my name is blah, 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 and then I'll look at their cup and like, oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Hey,
so
Susan.
if you have multiple like Amy B's, like Amy Baldwin's,
yes, there's a few Michaels out there.
Do you do like the full name then? Like even last name?
No, we'll do like the initial, or sometimes people will be like, oh, I want to be known as Star tonight. Like, all right, Star. That's
and then you see
Amy,
Star later, they have a different name and you're like,
Jesus
I swear you were Star last time.
Please do not let Star have the label maker again.
That's really smart.
It's, instead of doing that, like be at the party and I'll be like, I don't remember that guy's name, April. So this is my friend April, and
that's what Amy and I do that all the fucking time,
and I hate it. Creates this awkward moment, so I just call them what they're on their cup, and if they have the wrong cup, that's on you.
Yeah,
totally. Yeah,
I just tell people they have 12 choices with my name. I'm like, you can call me any month of the year that you want to.
Oh wow!
But my name is April, but I'll answer to any of them if you want.
June, I see you.
I thought
I like them all.
It was like you just gave it away, but I see what you're saying. I thought you were gonna make it a guess game.
Then people remember it's a month, and then they'll be like,
is no one's named December? Just kidding, someone is.
I know some people named.
I know a December.
You do know a December?
I do. Met one.
You live in LA though. You live in LA. LA. There's someone of every month's a January there.
I have to ask. I'm dying to ask this question. I don't know if it's appropriate, but like, have you had to kick people out ever for being like just like even though you do all of this?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Like we with the team. our saying is protect the vibe at all costs.
Okay.
If you guys are having a little family moment there, you're arguing about the boundaries, blah, blah, blah. Like, we're going to politely come up to you and say, hey, there's an area where you can do that, right? You can have that conversation. If it gets out of hand, then, hey, it's time to leave.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean we're kicking you out of the community.
Okay,
saying,
that's
hey,
good. That's
tonight,
nice.
clearly we're having an issue and it's affecting us because we're all, as things become more sensual, we all kind of become empaths and we're starting feeling everybody's energy in there. So, also the play is a drug-free space.
Got it.
Full stop. There are times where people don't respect that rule. If you took LSD tonight, and you're just all over the place, like you're gonna have to leave, right? If we see that you took too much of something, and it's noticeable to us, then we're gonna ask you to leave.
Yeah. Well, then it's a safety issue too. It's gonna affect other people, but also a safety issue for you and everyone
consent.
else. Yeah.
Exactly. You can't give consent. Your jaw's
And
going
you don't
crazy.
know people. What if someone's going to try to drug? There are people that will drug people non-consensually.
Probably not at this play party.
Well, no, probably not. But if you did allow drugs in, like you can simply and easily. I mean, the Grateful Dead did it.
I just think of like
people with LSD. I don't want to be high on LSD.
How hard people have to work for the interview and be able to get into this space. That like to go there and be like, I'm going to drug.
Yeah, but some people get high on LSD and then they're like, I am just going to do it because I forgot what I said in my interview.
There's been people who I've seen the bad LSD situation where we've had to ask somebody to leave, and then I saw a guy at the end and I was like, man, you were on fire tonight.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, bro, I'm 3 tabs deep. I was like, oh my God, don't tell me that.
Yeah,
but also you're crushing it.
Yeah. Which is like, that's okay.
So it sounds like it's a drug-free space, meaning if you're going to consume things, we don't like, it's not in a way where you're not in your body. And
I'll put it like this.
Yeah.
The play is a drug-free space, just like all spaces in Los Angeles.
Yes, exactly. Okay.
Precisely.
Yeah.
Which means it's a drug-free space, everyone.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
We just want people to be able to give informed, full-body yeses, and I know I've talked to William about this where, if there is drug consumption, what are the right steps? So asking people, hey, are you on anything right now? So you
sometimes
understand.
I like to give people mushrooms, even when I'm at like I was at the Petit Hermitage. We met some friends. I was
love
like,
Petit.
I know, me too. It's my favorite.
The violinist there.
Oh, yes. I know. I love
Fabrice.
him. Oh, my God.
Good friend
He's
of mine.
at the play. Now you have to go, April.
I mean, I am I stay at the Petite every time I'm in LA because I am obsessed. And I maybe don't want to say this on the fucking podcast because I love it so much. Yeah. But if you are in LA, you stay at the Petite.
No, it's a podcast not sponsored by
Go
Petite.
on a Friday. So you can see the Toledo show.
And there's no children allowed. It's an adult. You can be topless at the pool. It's a saltwater pool. It's in this really beautiful area.
Have you seen the Toledo show?
I don't believe so.
Oh man.
Maybe though, but
you would know.
I would know. I know. Then God. I have not.
The Toledo show is my favorite show in Los Angeles, especially as a creative. I see a lot of shows like Toledo does it. He's done the play like twice, and it is jaw dropping.
Wait.
It's like
tiny
this,
taste.
Okay, so you know that room that's to the side.
Yes, the fireplace room.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So 30 people go in there. People are playing instruments, and then he sings like he will freestyle almost like.
Is he blonde? Is he a blonde hair?
No.
Okay.
Black guy.
Okay.
Like you'll know Toledo.
Okay.
When you see this.
I have not. Then damn it, I gotta see
Friday.
Toledo.
Just go on a Friday.
Okay, I've been there on Friday. I feel like I probably walked by, but there's no room, and I get like all freaked out because I'm. Yeah. Okay, I didn't. Enough about me.
I'm gonna bring this back to the podcast.
Please
everyone.
do.
Again,
I like chatting
but I
with
want
Michael,
to say
though.
we should be sponsored by the Petit Hermitage.
We really should. We were going to do a party there, but it just I did my partner's 50th birthday party there,
cool.
like in 2018. It was
really
so
cool,
fucking fun.
Yes, so we're going to reach out to them on the side for this one. Okay, so Michael Hollice of The Play. So can you tell our listeners and us, because we want to come to the play too, how they can learn more about the play and as well as what the first step is to maybe apply to come to the play?
Perfect. You will go to our website, theplay.la. And then read about the experience. And then if you feel inclined, apply. The tip I will say is take your time on that application. That's all.
With intention.
Yeah. You can follow us on Instagram at theplay.la. We are shadow banned because all the best accounts are.
We are too.
Yes,
Yeah, exactly. So you may have to search it. But what's cool about following us on Instagram, all of the images that you see are from the play. None of them are staged. These are just things that have happened at the party. I see so many play parties where it's like they're doing like AI or like this. It's clearly like a photo shoot. Yeah. Like, so that's where you can find us. The other thing, we just released the Play Network, our own social media app for our community.
Oh, you were talking about the app. I was going to ask you about it.
Yeah,
okay, that's so dope.
Super cool. It was like a big lift, but we have our own social media now.
Wow. So basically people can communicate with each other after the play.
Exactly, because we take away your phones.
Yeah.
So
right.
Not only that, we offer workshops. Reed Mahelko, he's hosted a workshop for us on Tantra right before our Tantra party. We've had Melanie Rose. She's done a workshop as well. Melanie is
she was just on our show.
Yeah. She's awesome.
Love her.
Love Melanie.
How to build a sex room, everyone.
Yep. She did how to build your own sex room in your own space. But all of these workshops are either going to be free or at a super discounted price for our community. We also have sponsors that, like the Pleasure Chest.
Yeah.
So if you're a member of the play, you'll get a discount whenever you go to the Pleasure Chest, but also connecting with artists. And you can post like the fun pictures that you can't post on Instagram.
Yeah.
And, we're not going to have ads on there either. And
that's awesome.
You're not going to be a shadow banned for being yourself.
Yeah,
exactly.
And just the continuation of community, I think, is really valuable because a lot of people, there's like, what is it, con drop? You go to the thing and they're like, wait, but I'm disconnected from my community when you leave.
What is it called? The
con drop, like Comic Con.
Oh,
you go to Comic Con and you're like with your people, and then you leave and you're like, I'm sure.
It's like the Burning Man. People come off of Burning Man and you get like you have to have a decompression.
The default world sucks.
Like the real
other
world.
thing we do on the app is we allow people to see who's in their area. So it's like, okay, I'm in Santa Cruz this weekend. Like, who
like
else
Grindr.
is out here?
Yeah.
I love that.
Hey,
Exactly.
Or like Field. Hey.
I don't know. I've just been on Grindr with my gay friends. I'm like, let me see who's out there for you. I'm like, that guy's dick is really big.
April loves being in other people's apps.
Yes, that's what I do.
It's just her favorite.
Well, I know we've got to go, but before I go, I did want to take some time to thank you both. Not just for having me on, but like for creating these type of spaces, these type of conversations. This is huge. And the people that you're reaching, how you're making it more comfortable for individuals like myself to talk about. I just started doing podcasts 5 months ago.
You're
Seems
natural.
like you've been doing it for a long time.
Your voice is like you're a cadence, and your voice is obviously.
He was a child actor.
Yeah, this makes sense. But you got
acting
skills.
my way through this thing.
Yeah, you've done great. So thank you.
But seriously, like these are, I'm just coming out to my family about this, but I've been on other podcasts like yours where I feel so comfortable talking about this and the way you guys have created a space. And I can't thank you enough. This is how people hear about, maybe their favorite kink or questions that they were afraid to answer. I was listening to the episode on fertility, on the way here because there was some
Fertility Friday.
questions, that I had.
Fertility Friday, yes.
Totally.
So just thank you guys so
I'm
much.
so happy this was in
you.
person because meeting you in person, I think this is why doing podcasts in person, granted you have to come to our miniature studio where we had 4 people in here. We're like, walk over that, do this. Yes.
No, there's a chick in here though.
There's a
you guys will
chicken.
love Club.
Yeah,
Club
she's
Kids,
right
say
outside.
hi.
She's right
She
here.
loves being
What's up,
in the
Clark?
studio and just like meeting you in person, your energy, the vibe, what you're doing. So thank you because I absolutely I know resonate is such a California word, but I resonate so much with this, the play. I typically my head goes to my Midwestern judgmental self where I'm like, play parties sound gross to me. Like I need entertainment that's not just, that doesn't feel
It's not all about fucking.
And it doesn't feel like exhaustive. You know when you go to those like casinos in Vegas that feel tired and you're like, I'm here and this is tired. Like the performers look
I feel that
tired.
about all casinos, but yeah.
But no, but there's some like the Fountain Blue now that opened in Vegas. And I don't really like Vegas. We are forced to go there for our trade show. And so but you can feel like energy that's put into intention and art and lighting and the sound and the smells. And so I think that what I'm hearing from you, like I have no doubt that it is exactly like the vibe that I would be going for, but it doesn't sound pretentious either. And it's hard to do all of those things. So gratitude for what you're sharing. And I love that it's not this elitist LA vibe where people get really frightened by that. I got frightened when I lived in LA. I'm like, I'd meet people at like, I don't even know if it's still popular. Like, what is it called? The fucking Greystone? Is that what it's called? Great.
I don't know.
It's like, I don't know. Oh God, it doesn't fucking matter.
I'm thinking more like the app Raya, right?
Sure.
Like that.
Right.
Like it's like that kind of elitist.
But people would come up and be like, oh, what do you do? And I'd be like dancing at this club when I used to go to clubs. And I was like, oh, I'm in the sex toy industry. And they're like,
Bye.
oh, you're in the industry? They didn't hear sex toy. And then they thought it was an entertainment. And then as soon as I said, no, they would literally stop talking to me. And it was the most empty feeling. And it happened like more than one or two or three times.
When we do those interviews, this is not just to see if you're catfishing us. This is like, can you hold a conversation? Are you interesting?
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
Because like you can be as beautiful as you want, but if you're going to be a wallflower, you're not adding to this space.
Yeah.
You're just over there intimidating. And
it's like with Burning Man where there's the difference between participating or like you're like a part of it or sorry, you're contributing or participating, right? So there's one thing like, there's a different word for it. But anyways, you're someone who's just there like, I'm here to party.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or now I'm here like I'm actually doing something that is an offering.
Like stank face in the side and they're like, oh my God, they're just because that feels judgmental. I'd feel uncomfortable if there was a stank face hop Instagram model there just stank facing all day.
Even
I'd
if
be
they're
like,
not
all right,
stank facing.
I mean, maybe
there's
not.
a difference.
Rusty bitch facing, whatever.
There's a difference between like being there, like showing up and actually being a part of it versus like, no, I'm just here for me and like taking all the photos or you can't take photos there. Like there are different energies. And
that's awesome too. That's like when you go to that's why you go to some of these clubs at least, or these, I'm not finding the word right now because I can't multitask, but like when you go to Soho House, you can't take pictures. And I love that about certain, they're not clubs. What do you call them? They're like memberships,
social clubs.
Social clubs. Yeah. Okay. Good.
Yeah.
I didn't want people to think I was doing like.
Yeah. It's
clubs like that. Yeah. But
you do it the way you move your head when you do that. By the way, it reminds me of cluck cluck.
I got it from her. Okay. All right. So
we gotta wrap up.
I don't want to wrap up. I love Michael, but he does have a life and busy life to take care of everybody else's pleasure out there. So the play.la, all these links will be on our site. You're also, though, you told me before we recorded that London's coming up. Is that okay to say? Or
yes.
is it still?
Oh man, we are partnering with Killing Kittens, which is a London-based party. I got to meet Emma Sales, and we had like this amazing like 8-hour day together in LA where we were just kind of going back and forth. So super excited about that. And then I would love for you guys to come to our August 10th party.
I want to go.
It is one of my
10th,
favorite themes, Playground of the Gods.
Playground
of the Gods.
Playground of the Gods.
It's going to be at this amazing mansion in Bel Air.
Whoa.
The place is like set up for play parties. It's
I'm like looking at my calendar.
I know. I already looked at mine. Don't you worry.
The 10th.
We add a lot of zhuzh to that. There's going to be some fun games. Oh, the other thing that we do during the party, if you don't feel like playing, we have workshops.
Oh,
Perfect.
really?
You want to do a shibari workshop, or you want to do water yoga, which was at our last party?
I would want to bring my partner to this because I think he and I need this. And I love this because we have wanted to experience play parties and we're just not sure where to go. And I was like, Amy, I want to do it on my own because she heard her partner go. And I'm like, this sounds like exactly our vibe. Like,
it's a great one to start off with.
That's, and I just looked, I'm free that weekend. So I'm going to talk to him. Thank you, Michael, so much. And thank you for the giving us the gratitude and so much more back to you. And I can't wait to see all the other things that y'all are going to do because it's going to just keep expanding. And we're so happy to have you here. And to all of our beautiful Shameless Sex listeners, especially to those folks out there that constantly ask us about where to find a play party. And now you know. Check out theplay.la and check out Michael and the wonderful work that him and his team that they're all doing to make this world a better place, one orgasm and play party at a time.
Or no orgasm.
Or maybe just one performative act at a time.
Yeah. Maybe
with no jizz on the bangs. That's it.
That's a hard boundary.
Before I go, I just want to give a big shout out to the play team.
Hey.
This is not like I'm not the face, I'm not the voice here. I just want to make sure that they get their love and respect and their gratitude because they are making people's fantasies come true, and teamwork is making this dream work. So
thank you, play team.
You're only as good as your team. So that's a wonderful shout out. Thank you to our Shameless Sex team because we absolutely adore you, and you've been with us now. We're going on 7 years as well because I think Michael said he's been married for 7, with the play parties for the play for 6. So we're 7 years. We didn't even realize it, and we don't have the itch yet, which is good. I got the clap, but not the itch. I'm just kidding. That was a joke. All right, everyone. We're gonna see you next Tuesday. Remember to rate us on your favorite iPod app or iPod app. Yeah. Oh no, that's not iPod. Is that still a thing? Okay, it's not. I used to have an iPod. Podcast app would be the right one. I'm all becleft, okay? I love each and every one of you. Sometimes I am human too. I'm not AI generated. So we'll see you next Tuesday, y'all. Ciao for now.
To learn more, go to shamelesssex.com.
And for 15% off some of our favorite sex toys, use code shamelesssex at purepleasureshop.com.